All right, everyone, welcome back into another props video. Going to be touching on the top prop bets for this Taco Tuesday slate. That's right, it's profit day. Let's go ahead and get into it. Just a quick recap from yesterday's slate. So close. It felt like a bad beat. Monday or Sunday Night Football, we had Jalen Waddle get injured. That was pretty unfortunate. Yesterday, Brock Purdy throws an INT at the end, and it was funny. Like, it was certainly within the realm of possibility. All like cheering for Brandon Ayuk catch, which if you guys watched yesterday's video, I wasn't that high on it. It was a weird slate. Felt like we were forcing a bunch of prop bets. Today is actually seemingly going to be a better day, so I'm kind of excited for this. And really, the last few Taco Tuesdays has been really good, especially last week where really just dominated. So right away, I do want to start out with the good EV bets that we are getting, and I just want to call this one out to really start out with Zach Wierenski for over 2.5 shots on goal. We can see he's projected at 2.61. That's going to be one of the better EV bets that we are currently getting on today's slate. As you guys know, I typically like to start out these videos with those if we're getting them. As it sits right now, we are getting some of those. And then also let's talk about some NBA props as well, just in terms of prop bets that are going to be good EV bets. So we see Yusef for over 9.5 is going to be a good one. This one is one that has increased as the week has went on. If you guys were following my picks from yesterday, I mentioned I really like Yusuf Nurk for over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And just as an FYI, Bradley Beal is unlikely to play, so we'll see kind of how that shifts the dynamic of the Phoenix Suns props. I'm sure they're all going to get a decent bump, but maybe not too much. I would say Yusuf should get a little bit more usage, I would imagine, but at the same time, part of the reason why I liked him is because, they have a bunch of shooters, and so we'll see how that affects him. Obviously, KD, Devin Booker are going to get a slight bump there, so we'll see how that plays out. Another one, and this was kind of interesting to me, is that at the start of, let me rephrase that, when they first dropped the fantasy score props, basically all of them were being heavily favored for the under. And if we just pull that up here real quick, that is still true. It's kind of crazy, but they have adjusted them. Like, all these got bumped down a little bit still, so certainly interesting there. Just how much they're kind of valuing these fantasy score props. And I'm wondering if it's just like the opening night, if they're just bumping them up because everyone's going to be trying to bet the over. It's kind of strange to me. But yes, just looking at it, some other good ones that we are getting. Well, you could run out Jamal Murray, Chris Paul for under their fantasy score. I'd be fine with that. Looking at it, we got D'Angelo Russell for over 13.5 points. We know with Russell, he is going to be someone that gets out there and shoots the basketball a lot. I don't mind that one. That's certainly one we could roll with. We got Austin Reeves for over 4 assists. We can see Underdog has a line set at 4.5. We can see the average sportsbook line has it set at 4.5. The only slight issue is that the projection data doesn't like it at 3.6. Kevin Durant, this one's probably going to get bumped now. Maybe not, actually. This one has been switching between 5 and 4.5, really, since they had the props out. So that'll be an interesting one. Michael Porter Jr. for over 13.5 points is another pretty good EV bet that we are getting. Curry for over 29 points. We can see Underdog has bumped it to 30.5. That's a big prop line difference right there, 1.5. The average sportsbook line has it set at 30 as well. They're kind of starting to favor that as the over as well. So continuing on, Devin Booker, we'll see if that one lasts. Now then we're starting to get into like the lower but still good EV bets, and that's why I'm excited about today, is that we have some pretty darn good bets that we could be rolling with. So we're going to touch on some MLB props now. Yesterday, I was so bittersweet about this because, all right, we don't have any pitching fantasy score props just yet. The best pitching fantasy score prop and really a good NHL prop became available after I just got done doing the video. And I didn't get a chance to look at it until like an hour to 2 hours later after I posted it. Merrill Kelly for over fantasy points was easily the better of the 3 pitching fantasy score props that were popping. He ends up dominating. The other 2 kind of get crushed. That was unfortunate. Looking at it here, though, we are getting some kind of interesting hitting fantasy score props. Like, if you guys want to run out kind of a game stack, just saying, hey, this game is going to go high scoring. It's going to be a lot of runs scored. You could easily bet all 4 of these players over. And this one, Christian Walker, definitely the best one that we're getting. I don't mind Corbin Carroll here as well. That's fine, but really all 4 of those are pretty good ones. And then I do just want to get into some potential NFL stacks that we could be on. I will say we're getting some kind of interesting lines, I will say, especially in terms of stacking opportunities. You got Desmond Ridder going against the Tennessee Titans defense that has definitely been defeatable. We'll see what's going on with Bijan Robinson, kind of weird stuff there, but they might be forced to have to throw the football a little bit more, and obviously that is what you want to do against Tennessee. This is an extremely low line. I think we have a great stacking opportunity there. I'll touch on that when I get into the receivers. Also, like Jalen Hurts going against Washington as well. Like, they have struggled to stop the pass. Like, you could easily game stack this game as well. we're getting some low lines. And I don't know if it's because NBA's back, and it just seems like these lines are a little bit lower than they should be. And typically PrizePicks, Underdog, they're a little bit faster than the average sports books are at getting their lines out, because, well, they know that their game is people just making a bunch of bets. You have to put in 2 slip bets, so they don't really care too much if their lines are a little bit off at this. I mean, they do, but they just want a volume of bets. It's pretty much what they want. And so that's why they put their lines out earlier. And that's why we see some discrepancies. Like Sam Howell's had a very good one there, guys. Sorry, this is where we could game stack it. He's had a very good one there as well, going against Philly, a team that we can easily see a team beat up via the passing game. We see one for 290 passing yards in their first game. Then we continue on. I don't mind Zach Wilson going against the Giants. He's been close the last few games. It really just depends on how the Jets go about attacking the Giants, and it probably will be with Breece Hall, so definitely not a lock and load. Lamar Jackson seemingly a low number going against the Arizona Cardinals. We have seen he can throw the football, and part of the reason as to why his receiving yards haven't been, or passing yards haven't been as high as they have been, is one, he's faced a couple of tough defenses. Even Detroit is a tough defense. Pittsburgh's okay. Not the best, but Cleveland definitely a tough defense. And you look at, he's had a bunch of drops. He's had that one game where there's a ton of drops. So really, I don't think his game log is truly an indication of how well he's played. And so I think that's a very low number that we're getting. And so let's just see how we can go about stacking those specific ones with those receiving yards props. And we'll start with Drake London. I would say Desmond Ridder, if he's getting his over passing yards, you could definitely go with him. And then you could also maybe even do Kyle Pitts if you want to. He's playing a lot. So is Jonnu Smith. But if Ridder is going to be having a good passing yard day, I would say it's because of Kyle Pitts. It's because of Drake London. Continuing on, this is an interesting one. So A.J. Brown is on a historic pace. And I don't think anyone would doubt A.J. Brown's talent, but is he like a top receiver ever in the league? I would say too early to tell, but I wouldn't say that that's who he is. So he's going to have some regression, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. And it wouldn't be surprising for that to happen this week. Devonta Smith, you would expect him to have a bounce back game. Terry McLaurin, we see him at a very low receiving yard total going against the Philadelphia Eagles. He had one really strange game against the Chicago Bears where Sam Howell is just locked in on getting Logan Thomas the ball. Clearly, that's a mistake. We have seen him really now force the football to McLaurin, so that is definitely one that you could be tossing in there. I like that stack. And then if you are rolling with Zach Wilson, do Garrett Wilson over receiving yards as well. So we have some pretty good NFL props. And now I do want to talk about some props for Wednesday night as well, just to give you guys kind of the full video. I will say the line for Isaiah Stewart to me seems a little bit too low at 16.5. I don't know. He was just someone that looked really good at the end of the season last year. I expect him to get 30 minutes. And if that occurs, it's tough for me to imagine him not getting that over. Now, you will say oh, well, they have Jalen Duren back. He's going to be starting. They have James Wiseman, Bagley as well. And yeah, I would agree. But at the same time, it does seem like it's going to be both Jalen Duren and Isaiah Stewart as the players that are going to be playing the most. And to me, points, rebounds for Jalen Duren, that also seems too low. Those two should be players that are going to get around a double-double depending on how many minutes they get. If they both get 25 minutes, to me, it's going to be tough for me to see them not getting that. And James Wiseman, he's fine, but he's not as good as those two. So I don't know. That was definitely some interesting ones for me NBA wise. Let's go ahead and show you guys kind of based off of the time. I'm just going to take off the Tuesday games here. Actually, disregard that. I'm just going to scroll down here. So we are seeing that Wiggins you could potentially be on for under fantasy points. That's going to be tonight's game. Jaden Ivey is one that, I don't think Jaden Ivey's all that good. So you could be betting the under of him at 17.5. I think that'd be a good move. Evan Mobley under 2.5 assists. We can see that as about a 55% chance that we are getting some very good props, it appears. And so if you want to roll with these ones, by all means. We got Evan Mobley for over 14.5 points, about a 54% chance for that one to hit. Just honestly, too many good prop bets to be pulling in from thus far. So I will be doing a Wednesday NBA video as well. Let's go ahead and show you guys which bets I'd be targeting. All right, so the issue that we're going to have on the bet of the day today is that we have so many good bets that we could be rocking with. The board's going to be updating throughout the day. That's what we love about NBA, is that it's always gearing in to get some sort of edge there. Rolling with the 3 different prop bets, though, other than NBA. We have Zach. We saw this is going to be one of the better EV bets for over 2.5 shots on goal. I don't always love attacking a defender for this, but a 54% chance for that one to hit. I do like these two for the hitting fantasy score props. I decided to go with those two specifically because they're teammates. I always say in the hitting fantasy score props, if one hits, it's definitely going to help the other, especially at such a low number, 6 and 5.5. If one gets an RBI, the other one should be able to get a run potentially or get in a scoring position, all that stuff. Looking at it, I don't know. It's the beginning of the season. You guys know I like to use these fantasy score props because we can typically predict that they're going to be there throughout the day. So you guys can get in there and use that throughout the day. Other ones where we're chasing those good EV bets like D'Angelo Russell, this one will probably get updated to 13 points throughout the day. Tough to, or I just don't like giving those out because if it's going to get bumped, like I assume it's going to, then not many people can benefit from it. My only issue with these two fantasy score props is that they both already got bumped a little bit, and so they were bigger edges. Now they're still seemingly good edges, it would seem. But that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to be pairing these up individually with those tacos that we have. We also have the Steph Curry taco free square, I should say, and I'd be fine using any of these with that one as well. Do want to remind you guys of the promo code that is going on the 9to5sports.com website. Use the promo code NBA to get 50% off your first 9to5 membership. That's going to be available for new members only. That's going to be available until the 30th. So take advantage of that. That's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that notification bell to get on all the EV bets as soon as the video drops. That's all I have for you guys. Once again, check out 9to5sports.com. Available for just $10 a month. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.